Hello and welcome to Update 3 on Typhoon Dolphin, a Category 4 storm. It's re-strengthened over the past day. Now a major typhoon, again at Category 4 status, has organized significantly since we talked about it this time yesterday. We have no time to waste, so let's jump right into it. Here it is, a Category 4. It is currently making landfall as we head towards the evening and overnight hours as we head into that general vicinity for these islands that are just off the coast of Japan, those Ogasawara Islands that we were just talking about yesterday. Landfall is occurring in the central portion of this island chain as we speak, the small island being where that landfall is occurring. At this time, Dolphin currently has winds of 115 knots or 130 miles per hour and a minimum central pressure of 933 millibars, moving west at 14 miles per hour. This isn't completely out of the blue, but we were expecting it was more likely the storm was going to continue to weaken. It has most certainly gotten its act together. Here's the forecast for it now. Significant increases in expected intensity compared to yesterday. Expecting this to maintain Category 4 intensity as we head towards tomorrow 3 a.m. Tokyo time. Expecting that this thing's going to remain a Category 4 on August 5th. Then as we head through the next couple of days, by the time we get to the Okinawa Islands, this thing's expected to still be a Category 3, winds of 115 miles per hour as this moves in on August 7th and into August 8th. So we're most certainly going to continue to keep an eye on this storm over the next couple of days. So again, first area of land that we're keeping a very close eye on, this is it, the Ogasawara Islands. We're seeing landfall right now. The heaviest of the rain, the eye wall, the first half has moved through. The second half is beginning now. So impacts far from over for these islands thus far. Luckily, no major reports of damage, at least yet. We will continue to keep an eye on that, and we'll keep you updated tomorrow as we see that. Here's a model that gives you some simulated radar. Here's what it would look like at this time. This model did not do a good job of showing the significant increase in organization this storm has undergone. So it shows a far larger eye wall than what we're really seeing, a far weaker storm, but still generally timing-wise, this storm will be out of here. The eye wall by around 12 p.m. on the 5th. By the time we get to around 9 p.m. to midnight, so late evening into the next day, 5th into the 6th, that's when we're expecting those outer bands will be well and truly out of here. We're expecting an additional 4 to 8 inches of rainfall. Lots of rainfall has already fallen. A lot of places going to see over a foot of rain, over 16 inches. Even a possibility for many of us. So we're going to continue to keep an eye on this as time does go on, but we are expecting a rather significant storm. And here are the wave heights, well over 50 feet, especially in northern portions of this island chain. This model is showing this moving a little farther south than it really is, so these largest waves are definitely going to be hitting northern portions of this island chain. So we're expecting significant storm surge to continue over the next couple of days. But that's what we're expecting when it comes to wave heights. This storm currently moving through, we're expecting that it will be out of there within the next day or so. Then we move to the Okinawa Islands, southern portions of the mainland of Japan, Taiwan, and China now is where we're expecting this to move next. So the Okinawa Islands are expecting a Category 3 storm around August 6th, 7th, 8th. That's when we're going to be seeing this rather large Category 3 moving in. It's then expected to weaken into a Category 2 with winds of 110 to 100 miles per hour as it heads in the general vicinity of Taiwan and China later in its life. There is the possibility it takes a more northerly turn beyond this. We'll see. It might not make a direct landfall in China, but it is still very well a possibility. So we're going to continue to keep you updated. The jury is still out, though, on the exact track of this storm once it moves past the Okinawa Islands. But we're pretty certain the Okinawa Islands will get impacted by a large, very dangerous typhoon here. Let's take a look at this typhoon as it continues to move towards the Okinawa Islands. This is what the track is expected to look like. And you'll notice here it's very wobbly. This thing is expected to move rather slowly. It's expected to slow down on this particular model. And we've seen this. Wherever it ends up slowing down, it's going to slow for a bit before it begins to turn back north. The Joint Typhoon Warning Center expects this will be through by this point. This particular model showing you, though, this thing could stall for a bit before it does start that northerly motion. So where exactly it stalls out before moving back north, still a question that's up in the air. But the general message, if you're in the Okinawa Islands, southern Japan, Taiwan, if you are in China or even in southern portions of South Korea, let's just keep an eye on this over the next few days. Not a red alert for you just yet, but especially if you're in the Okinawa Islands, I would start preparations for this typhoon. We're expecting we're going to be seeing 12 to 20 inches of rain now across much of this vicinity, especially in the Okinawa Islands, the more mountainous portions of Taiwan, and heading into China. We're expecting quite a bit of rainfall here, so we're going to continue to keep an eye on that as well, but a dangerous typhoon beginning to set up. Even if it's weakening in wind speed, the water going to be the main threat for this as it moves in, and it is significantly stronger than it was expected to be at this time. We'll see if it continues to hold the line with intensity or does start steadily weakening as we expected it to as it moves in the general direction of the Okinawa Islands and the Chinese coast. The wave heights are expected to be rather large. You'll notice here as well, this is a different model that shows a similar solution here where the storm starts to stall near the Okinawa Islands, those waves well over 50 feet, and then it surges up north. So there's a very real possibility here that we see a more northerly trend, and that's because of the way that the jet stream's interacting. We could go into lots of details about the atmospheric dynamics making this forecast so challenging, but the bottom line for you at home, if you are in the Okinawa Islands, if you are in Taiwan, if you are in China near Shanghai, if you are in southern portions of Japan or even southern portions of South Korea, let's just keep an eye on it. If you're in the Okinawa Islands, we're confident enough now that preparations need to begin. Elsewhere, let's just continue to keep an eye on it. We'll hone in on what exactly the track and the intensity looks like over the next couple of days. So let's take a look at the global tropics. You'll notice this is a Category 4 storm still, Typhoon Dolphin, and it is going to be possible that this thing continues to strengthen, especially in the overnight hours. Again, 130 miles per hour. And then we also have Invest 94W. This thing has winds of 20 knots, 25 miles per hour, and is moving west-southwest into the South China Sea. Currently appears unlikely to develop, but we'll continue to keep an eye on that as well. If it does develop, we'll make updates on that too. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to leave those down below. I'll be happy to answer those as well as anyone else on the Advective weather team, and I will be back tomorrow with another update.